If you're looking for a high quality, no holds barred exhaust setup with additional ground clearance for your 2024 and newer Tacoma, then the AWE Zero FG with the bash guard is the answer for you. The Zero FG system is a great option that absolutely sounds the business. We're giving this one a very strong 4 out of 5 on our loudness meter, and as you heard from the clips at the start of the video, it earns every bit of that. This is a great sounding system, and if you're familiar, or even if you're not, take a note of the name, Zero FG. I think that gives a pretty good summary of what this exhaust is all about. For all the naysayers out there who claim that there's no way to make a turbo 4-cylinder truck sound good, AWE is out to prove you wrong. The Zero FG system doesn't care what you think, and it gives these new Tacomas a really cool sound profile. Especially as compared to the nearly silent stock exhaust, this is much deeper and it's got a lot of character to it. When I heard the sound, it kind of brought to mind a tuned GR Corolla with an aftermarket exhaust, and it gives me old school rally car vibes, and that's certainly not a bad thing. The volume here is just right. It's loud, but it doesn't grate on you. Even inside the cabin, it's more than tolerable. And yes, this is going to be a lot louder than what you get stock. But again, as you heard from those clips, it's perfectly acceptable for daily use. The tone is also very pleasant, and thanks to AWE's 180 technology, you get that volume, but you don't get any drone. Inside the resonator here are specially designed ports that allow exhaust gas pulses to move through and realign 180 degrees out of phase with the other frequencies, and that cancels out drone and gives you the sound you're after without impacting the volume. It's a really clever trick that they've used for a while, and it addresses the exact cause of drone, leaving you with that great sound and a really slick piece of engineering. This is a 3-inch system all the way back too, and both the resonators here are pretty much straight through, so that means you're going to have a little bit better flow, and it's going to mean more power and better response for you as well. Now, this particular setup also includes AWE's patented bash guard, so instead of tips, you get this. This is going to be kind of like a turn down if you're familiar, and it's going to end right after the rear axle, but there's this 0.125-inch thick welded ring on the end of the piping for some additional protection. So if you do happen to bash this on a rock or obstacle, it can handle the impact without bending or damaging that pipe. And since this kit doesn't include big tips hanging off the back, you get some additional ground clearance too. AWE claims it's almost impossible to hit that thing, but I'm sure somebody out there is going to figure out a way to do it. But even if so, you're going to have that extra protection built in. And again, no tips means this is a more stealthy looking setup, but all pretense of stealth is thrown out the window the moment you fire this thing up. Construction is also a highlight, as it is with all of AWE's systems. You get 3-inch 0.065-inch thick T304L stainless steel tubing. This is a full bolt-on system, and it's going to save you some weight over your stock setup as well. Again, there are no tips in this system, but you do have that thick welded ring on the end here. All the welds look great. You've got some nice solid exhaust hangers on here as well, and overall this is just a really nice setup. It's almost a shame that you're really not going to see any of this once it's on the truck. And as with all of AWE's exhausts, this is designed, engineered, and manufactured right here in the USA. When it comes to the price, this one is going to run you about $1,300. That does put it toward the top end of the spectrum. This is, of course, a premium option within the exhaust segment, and given that construction and the engineering that are baked in here, I'd say it well earns that title. Yes, you are paying a lot, but you're getting a lot for your money as well. And if you want something that's going to sound good, look great, and it's going to last you a long time, you got to be willing to shell out for it. Install is no more complicated than any other exhaust, and accordingly, we're going to give it a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. This won't require any modification to the truck or to the system itself, so it is a totally bolt-on setup, and it comes with everything you need to get it installed on your truck. Not much more I can say about it, so why don't we head out to the shop and we'll walk you through the install process step by step.
For this install, you will need an impact, a swivel adapter, 14 and 15 millimeter sockets, a hanger removal tool, and also not shown here is a pole jack. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our Tacoma, but before we get started, we're going to send you to watch a quick video on how to remove your factory setup, and we'll see you when you get back.
All right, so we're going to start taking our factory exhaust off by working at the back and working our way forward. So we have our first flange here that's right in front of our rear axle. We're going to grab our impact and 14 millimeter socket and take these 2 nuts off. All right, now that those are off, this will allow us to remove our tailpipe. So we just have a couple hangers to hold our tailpipe section on. So we're gonna grab our exhaust hanger tool and pop our first one off here at the flange. All right, and we just have our hanger in the rear here. This supports your exhaust. and then you can pull the tail section out. Next, we're gonna come up to our next flange. So this is in front of our main muffler. We have 2 spring bolts here. Same thing, impact and 14mm socket. Take those 2 out. Now that those are out, we have 3 hangers on our muffler that we'll take off. All right, so we have our 1 hanger in the rear, and then we have 2 in the front of the muffler. So we're gonna use our hanger tool and pop them off. Just make sure you are supporting the exhaust because it will fall. All right, and we just take our 2 in the front off. All right, so now we have our last 2 spring bolts on our front flange. Same thing, we're just gonna put an extension on our 14mm socket to get those out. And then this is just held on with 2 hangers, 1 here, 1 here. Pop those off. Pull front pipe out of the way.
Alrighty folks, welcome back. Now that we have our factory setup off, we can begin installing our new system, and we're gonna start with our cat pipe. So we're gonna get this in line with our factory isolators. It has a hanger for each of them. So you wanna slide this over your cross member, get kind of in position, and we're gonna line up our hangers. You wanna line up this flange as well. We're gonna get this isolator in. Then we can reinstall our 2 factory spring bolts. These in place. Now because these are sprung bolts and they're gonna be under some tension, we're gonna grab our 14mm socket on our impact and just use that as extra leverage and slowly work our factory bolt back into place. We got that first one in, we'll do the same thing for the top bolt. Now for this top bolt, you may need a swivel adapter to get in there. Line that up. Then you want to start this slowly. You don't want to just run it in. Now we'll come back and fully tighten this bottom one down. Next we can get our crossover section in. So we're going to grab one of our provided clamps. Get that over our slip joint first. Slide this on. You want to make sure this fully seats. And what we're gonna do to hold this up is bring over a pole jack and kind of hold this in the general position so we can line it up with our muffler section. So we use this pole jack, kind of set this level. Now we don't want to tighten this clamp yet because we want to make sure the angle and fitment is correct for our muffler section before we tighten anything down. Now we're gonna get our muffler section installed. So what we're gonna do is slide our clamp over our crossover pipe first, then we'll get our new hangers for our muffler section into our factory isolators and get our slip joint lined up here. So you may have to put your slip joint on first. It's gonna make it a little bit easier. Get those hangers into your isolators. And once we have those on, we're gonna move our pole jack over to our muffler section. Bring that up level. Next we can get our over axle section in. So once again, we're gonna grab a clamp, slide that over. We're gonna route our over axle through the factory routing points. We're gonna get our hangers lined up as well as our slip joint. Get that fully seated. And you wanna get your hangers into the factory isolators. Now we can get our tail section in place. So once again, clamp over our slip joint. We'll line that up with our over axle. Get that in. And we'll bring this over to our factory isolator. And we'll get that hanger in. Okay. Now once you have your system loosely in place, you want to make sure the routing is how you like it and nothing is going to be hitting or rubbing on any parts of your vehicle. We'll go back and start at our crossover pipe and start tightening all of our clamps down. So now we'll get our clamps in place, and you want to make sure your slip joint clamp comes to the very edge of your slip joint itself. That provides the best seal. And we'll grab our 15 mil socket and tighten these down. And we'll work our way down our exhaust doing the same exact thing. Next we'll do our muffler inlet, followed by our muffler outlet. Now we'll get our over axle to tail section. And that'll do it. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our AWE Zero FG single exhaust system with bash guard and side exit for your 24 to current Tacoma. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Tacoma, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.